So here in America, we basically um, go off a linear political spectrum, with liberals being on the left and conservatives being on the right. I know there's many different conceptions of what the political spectrum is. Some think it's a circle that meets in the back and the front. Some think that it's three-dimensional. Some think that it's two-dimensional. But for the most part in America, it's perceived to be linear, and it's definitely talked about in a linear fashion. So I'm going to discuss that briefly. On the left, and this is basically universal, you have people in favor of larger government and more government programs, which entails more taxes. And on the right, you have people in favor of less government, therefore less government programs and lower taxes. Those things are pretty universal, and in and of themselves, I really can't criticize people for taking one position over the other. However, in America, the right has the military complex, and the left fights for civil rights and individual rights. Basically, things like the ACLU are on the left in America, for what that's worth. And it doesn't have to be like that, and I really don't understand why conservatives are so proud to be against rights when it takes more government programs to take your rights away. It doesn't really make sense, and it doesn't make sense that they try to demonize the left for that. Yeah, we do need some gung-ho military people. I guess we need some cowboy mentality, gonna go get them suckers kind of people. But to deify them while we demonize people who are concerned with rights is weird. And to always back down to them is, to me, frightening. That you would always let somebody with a military complex get their way. But like I said, those things, they don't have to be that way. They just are that way in American politics. Things like gay rights, the left is going to embrace much more often than the right. It just is that way in America, and it really doesn't have to be that way. So I'm very confused and disturbed how most of the negative and restrictive policies come from the right. Someone who shouldn't, who from a purely political point of view, should be very concerned with individual rights. Yet they're the ones who want censorship and that kind of stuff. In my next video, I'm going to try to get at what is really driving American political choice, because it's definitely not political ideology. Big government, small government has very little to do with it. Maybe Sean Hannity actually believes what he says about government, but the majority of those people just take that position because it's on the right to try to push forward their other points, which usually suck. Now, why is it that a bunch of a-holes on the right are able to push around people on the left who, not like they're saints or anything, but they have more of a notion of justice for all and equality for all than the right does? Why they're able to get pushed around is it's frustrating to me that they can't just say that we have better positions, and it's even more frustrating to me that a lot they adopt the positions on the right. So basically in America we have the two parties set up along the universal lines of small versus big government, and therefore the taxes needed to support each government. And aside from that, our value systems don't align themselves with political ideologies, more moral ideologies. And again, somehow the right always tries to take the moral high ground, but they shouldn't be able to. They shouldn't have it. They don't have it. That's where almost all of the racists are, and almost all of the crazy, if you're not a Christian, get the fuck out of this country people are. That's where the people who are opposed to homosexuality lie. They don't have the moral high ground, but yet we let them keep that, and I really believe that the left has to attack them there, because that's the left's biggest advantage, is despite the fact that they, just like conservatives, suck banker cock, there are more people on the left that give a shit about you, and more people on the left that give a shit about everybody than on the right. So, video didn't go exactly where I thought it was gonna go. I put more opinion in there than what I wanted. But I still think it's good, so I'm gonna post it. Alright, y'all. Peace.